Chronic joint discomfort has a way of quietly degrading your routine. An action as simple as pushing yourself up out of a deep chair turns into a calculated physical chore that dictates how you move through your entire day. When you bring this up to a doctor, the typical medical route often involves invasive treatments or a reliance on harsh prescription painkillers that carry heavy long-term side effects. Because of those side effects, many older adults look for a different path. They want a gentle, long-term approach to joint health, turning to the natural supplement market for relief rather than a pharmaceutical pain stop. That deep desire for a natural, long-term fix creates a unique vulnerability. People suffering from daily physical discomfort become prime targets for highly aggressive marketing campaigns, promising total restoration. The urgent drive to avoid prescription drugs often leads consumers straight into buying unverified, heavily marketed natural supplements that slowly drain their wallets while their mobility stays exactly the same. Right now, one of the most popular names dominating this market is BioDynamix Joint Genesis. The marketing relies heavily on claims that it will rehydrate your joints from within and restore your youthful mobility. Those promises come at a premium. A single month's supply of Joint Genesis will cost you roughly $60. This decision tree illustrates the dilemma consumers face. You step away from harsh prescriptions and choose natural supplements, bringing you straight to that $60 price tag. The question is whether the actual mathematical dosage supports the miracle claims printed on the front. To answer that, we have to ignore the marketing hype entirely. We're going to conduct a strict reality check, comparing the product's official ingredient list directly against verified biological science. Relying blindly on a brand's promises is a very fast track to wasting your money. The only practical way to protect your budget and your physical joints is to learn exactly how to read the science on the label. When evaluating any supplement, you have to understand clinical dosing. This is the strict minimum amount of a specific ingredient required by the human body to actually trigger a physical change. The primary active ingredient in Joint Genesis is Boswellia extract. This is an excellent component, widely recognized and scientifically backed for its anti-inflammatory properties. The formula actually gets this part right. The amount of Boswellia included in Joint Genesis meets the necessary clinical dosing threshold, meaning it is highly likely to provide you with mild pain relief. But here is the catch. In this entire formula, Boswellia is doing nearly 100% of the heavy lifting. This creates a sharp financial trade-off. You are paying a $60 premium for a proprietary blend where only one ingredient is pulling its weight, while you can buy a high-quality, standalone Boswellia supplement for around $15. The Boswellia works, but buying Joint Genesis is an incredibly inefficient way to get it. You are effectively paying a massive luxury tax for a single functional ingredient simply because it is wrapped in a fancy brand name. We can see this inefficiency clearly when we look at the supporting ingredients heavily featured in the product's marketing, specifically ginger root and pine bark extract. Ginger is an excellent, scientifically proven ingredient for reducing joint inflammation, provided it is properly dosed. This matrix exposes a massive dosage gap. Joint Genesis includes just 200 milligrams of ginger, drastically below the required clinical dose. Pine bark extract is also underdosed at 25 milligrams. Even bioperine falls short at 5 milligrams instead of the required 8 to 10. This causes a cascading failure in the formulation. Even if the bioperine was perfectly dosed to boost absorption, it wouldn't matter. There simply isn't enough ginger or pine bark to absorb in the first place. In the industry, this is known as budget formulation. A company lists famous ingredients to make the label look impressive, but cuts their manufacturing costs by using microscopic, biologically useless amounts. The psychological comfort of seeing the word ginger printed on a label means absolutely nothing if the physical dosage is too low to trigger an actual biological response in your body. That brings us to the supplement's flagship marketing claim, the inclusion of hyaluronic acid, which is supposedly there to replenish synovial fluid and lubricate stiff joints. The science is partially valid. Hyaluronic acid is highly effective at lubricating joints, but only when injected directly into the capsule by a medical professional. This biological flowchart shows what actually happens with oral hyaluronic acid, like the 80 milligram dose found in Joint Genesis capsules. As soon as it enters the stomach chamber, the molecules are broken apart. The human digestive system aggressively breaks down this specific molecule. Almost none of it survives the harsh stomach acid to enter the bloodstream and actually reach your joints. Biologically, you are paying a premium for an ingredient that sounds incredibly compelling in the marketing pitch, but is completely dismantled by your own stomach before it can do its job. At this point, many buyers rely on one final defense. They point out that the company offers a 6-month money-back guarantee, so they feel there is no risk in just trying it out. Utilizing that guarantee carries a hidden opportunity cost. You are tying up hundreds of dollars and sacrificing half a year of potential healing time on a mathematically flawed formula. Any subtle relief you happen to feel during those 6 months is likely just the standalone Boswellia doing its job, rather than the deep joint hydration promised by the brand. This supplement ROI analysis chart maps out the exact trade-off. Joint Genesis falls squarely into the high-cost, low-efficacy quadrant. At $60 a bottle, the poor biological delivery and subclinical dosages simply do not justify the premium cost. A long refund window is a calculated risk used by marketers to secure an initial sale. It is not scientific validation that the formula actually works. If you are a budget-conscious senior on a fixed income, or if you are looking for mathematically proven joint relief, this is a product you should avoid. You have much better options depending on your goal. If you just want the proven anti-inflammatory benefits of Boswellia, purchase a high-quality standalone extract. You will save a significant amount of money every month. If your goal is a comprehensive, all-in-one joint supplement, seek out transparent competitors, like Flexigen, that actually formulate their product to match clinical trial dosages for every single ingredient they list. The ultimate lesson here is straightforward. Never trust the marketing claims on the front of a bottle until you have verified the math on the back of the label. True lasting joint relief doesn't come from an expensive brand name. It comes from clinically dosed ingredients that respect both your biology and your bank account.